Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Session Chair Dr. Sankran, all my co-panelists, all the senior members from Department of Space and Industry. Friends, this is a unique opportunity which I have received, having worked in this industry for building the ground segment and SATCOM technology for the users over a period of time working together with industry. Today, I feel that I have got this opportunity to probably put forward the views which I do share with industry as well as with the users. So in the next 5 minutes, which I have been asked, I'll try to give you some glimpses of what we feel that what are the changes which are required, what are the opportunities and challenges which we need to address as a community to serve our user base in a much better way and in more effective way. To start with, already I think a lot of presentation in the previous presentation, a lot of talked about the technology aspect of it. So what I'll try to do is, there are few domains which are really like, if I talk about the emerging SATCOM applications domain, there are few domains which I have listed here. The 4 core domains which are trying to, still has got enormous potential. If I talk about the applications, SATCOM applications, today in the country we have hardly captured 20%, 20 to 30% of the users. Still 70% of the potential is yet to be tapped. There are various reasons for that which we will dwell upon, but these are 4 another niche area which is upcoming and which is going to be there with us for some time, where we have to build the technology. Now people are trying to build this, you all are aware that there are industry which has gone into building this, making this broadband available direct to home. So LEO STS is one of the domain which is upcoming. We will talk about what are the technological challenges in that and how we can get into that at an early stage so that we don't get deprived of the technology and the low cost technology to our user base. Ubiquitous broadband is the need of the hour. If you can, like today, from a user perspective, if you look at it, what user wants is information, the content in terms of multimedia or data or voice, and put together with the mobility. So that's the ultimate requirement. Wherever you are, you want that information to be made available. So that is bringing on the communication on the move and associated technology, which is a domain which is again upcoming. SATCOM as a strategic asset and tool, this is where basically most of this our mobile satellite service for strategic users and special users comes in picture, where we need to still work upon to meet their end goals. And last but not the least, which is very happening, is aeronautical and maritime communication suite, where you want to have monitoring of your assets to communication to broadband and everything. Because these are the domains, these are 2 domains where there is no alternate technology available. There is no terrestrial thing which can help you in aeronautical and mobile broadband communication. So, maritime communication. So, anyhow, technology listing has been done. I will not touch upon many of the things, but I would just like to say that we need to learn the art to coexist, because LEO STS is coming a big way. Geo is already there, and each one of us has got their own strategic importance, and they are going to survive. So with the advent of this LEO and terrestrial 5G and 6G coming on in very close to our neighboring bands. So if, you all are aware, you all have been in this industry for quite some time, you know that how to, so we have to learn all those technologies which allows us to coexist. Terrestrial 5G together with SATCOM, SATCOM can act as an NTN. And even if you talk about the Geo SATCOM today, the LEO SATCOM can cause interference to that. So we have to learn all those technology which help us to do that. IoT, machine-to-machine communication, is something which is ushering a new era of the bandwidth requirement. How effective we can be, how effectively those bandwidths could be utilized, that is another challenge, technological challenge. Communication on the move is a technology which is going to touch each one of us. We have to learn to build, we Indians are very good, or I would say we as a technologists are very good. We have a very good understanding of technology. We build technology very fast. But the problem is technology, understanding the technology and building technology for doing a product development, and product which is affordable to the user. It's all three different domains. We have to put them together while in the very first place to make these systems affordable. We talk about electronic steerable array. Everyone understands the technology behind it, but we need to learn the technology which is affordable and which makes it available to user. So that is one thing which I wanted to tell you, and that is applicable to all the technology which we build today. All the technology which we are building today, probably we need to re-innovate and find out a way how we can make it affordable to the end user, because ultimately LEO STS making a huge impact on our, like, is slotted to make a huge impact on our life. Probably paradigm shift the way the SATCOM works today. But look at the affordability matrix of it. As on today, even after doing so much of capex, capital investment into that, the user segment, the cost is not so affordable for the individual users. It might be for the corporate users. So still, like, lot of technology, path-breaking technology which has to come in play if that has to be made affordable to a common man. So that is a challenge with us. We have to build all those configurations, SDR, chipsets, reconfigurable hardwares, modular architecture, such a way that information is made available everywhere for multiple purposes, more than one purpose. One way to bring down the cost is to make things modular or make things multi-use, like disciplinary. So same data can be utilized for multiple purposes. One data, nowadays every gateways are going on cloud. What is the benefit of that? You can utilize this data for some other analysis purpose, analytical purpose, for a strategic use as well. You need not put a separate ground station for doing separate jobs. So same data could be utilized. So such technology evolution has to happen if we really want to control the technology in such a way that it make it affordable to the user. We need to build robust waveform and open communication standards. This is one of the things which I wanted to highlight. In India, probably we might be having today more than 100 to 200 VSAT networks working. Incidentally, if you talk about the VSAT baseband, all the gateways, they are primarily working on proprietary technologies. Once you are tied up with one particular OEM, you have to lifelong survive with that OEM, no matter the other OEM is offering you a better service, which can be more useful to the kind of applications you are dealing with. So what happens? That calls for change of entire baseband. Reason being, we do not follow a standard there. If you talk about the terrestrial domain, it has scaled up itself and has prosperity has propelled there. The technology has become affordable. The reason being is standardization. So what I propose is that we have to build those kind of open communication standards, probably for a reason, with a caveat that one can deviate if need arises, but that should be need-based, not that compulsion for you to follow that. And last but not the least, technology for network throughput enhancement. There are many technologies. Now, natural resource is limited. The bandwidth is limited. We have to build a newer and newer technology so that we utilize them in a more effective way. Some of the things which I have listed, some of the things which I can quote here is, nowadays people are talking about zero guard band, zero header compression. You talk about resource routing, information routing through adaptive means like you have a multi-port array wherever you can divert that information. Coming back to issues, sir, last 2 minutes, sir, these are very important issues. Now, if I talk from a user perspective, user wants a satellite communication, he wants as a service. Nobody wants to do, like SATCOM has got element, you need a space segment, you need transponders, you need the ground segment, you need user segment, you need terminals, gadgets. You need to operate that network and maintain it. You have to think about the continuity of service. And you want to do all this, you also need regulatory approval. One user who is not aware of all this finds it very difficult to adopt for its application. We need to have a satellite as a service from a service provider. We need to build the ecosystem where this can be offered as a service. I'll tell you, we as a ISRO, we have developed so many technologies there. If I've just listed a couple of them, which we have done in recent past. I'll tell you, 2 of them has gone to the national level, but rest of them we are finding it difficult because of this reason only, because users, sometimes these users, service aggregation, one user wants only 100 kilohertz bandwidth is his whole capacity. He cannot afford to buy a whole transponder. He cannot go and get a whole transponder. He cannot set up a ground station. So most of them find it as a problem. They want it as a service. We should have a service aggregation and SATCOM as a service. That kind of technology should be supported from our place, sir. So that's one of the things which I wanted to highlight, which is, so SATCOM as a service is an opportunity as well as a challenge for all of us. Direct-to-home broadband LEO HTS, I will not take much time upon this. As I say, it's a very capital-intensive job. You require thousands of satellites in orbit. I have just taken a test case, and you need to build the ground segment. Ground segment is often very neglected, but let me tell you that if the LEO HTS and your Ultra HTS coming up, ground segment will have a better say, and user segment will have a better say than the space segment. So I request all the startups to even look at it very carefully. There is a lot of indigenization opportunity lying there. There is nothing. You have seen so many LEO STSs coming up.
One more minute, Chandra Prakash.
Yes, sir. Just last 2 minutes. So this has got a security challenge. You can have a transponder stealing. You can have a like eavesdropping. There are so many and cross-channel interferences, and there are so many technical issues which needs to be resolved. So you can look at it. Again, as I said, is this HTS and USTS, again, open as standard waveforms we have to develop. We have started indigenizing one HTS, just to give you one example. As already my previous speaker said that HTS segment has come up in India very well, and we have been able to establish a ground segment. But each ground segment costs more than 250 crore. We need to make a standard and indigenize all this. Last, secured and robust mobile satellite service. Mobile satellite service in India is, every country has to have their own mobile satellite service for special users. In India, we are facing a problem of coexistence. We have to sort it out. There is an interference from the terrestrial domain. So we have to work towards it. All in all, just to summarize, we need to learn this, how to coexist. There is ample scope for each one of us to play a role. We have to complement each other. I invite all these startups. Please feel free to interact with us. We can complement each other's ability to compete in the global space arena in the SATCOM business. Thank you all.